Okay, hello everyone. To be honest, I have a guest coming over and I gotta go enlighten my house. But I thought of recording an episode. The attributeless presence that watches all lives simultaneously. And the question for this episode and this world's reality comes to, in some sense, what is looking through our eyes. This is the greatest poetry. The greatest poetry of life is not knowledge, but it's as if the tree, it's as if the wind that moves between the branches of knowledge. And human beings, just like many species, they start off in a certain state, but they end off differently. The incredible thing about nature is that it is teaching us that even though, we change throughout the lifetime, it's as if the music never stops playing. And this is my philosophy on the brilliance of consciousness and existence. The music never stops playing. God, in some sense, if you look at it through the theological lens, the idea of God, of an inconceivable source that is witnessing everything through itself. We have Meister Eckhart, this Christian mystic, from 1,000 years ago, saying the same eyes I see God are the same eyes God sees me. And this man even goes so far to say that this whole world is actually an uncaused moment and an eternal now that is new, that has no beginning or end. And he says the task of the human mind is in some sense to let God be God within oneself. And what this means is that we are not in the greatness of only the dimensions that are observable. And is it a smart idea for mankind to engage with narratives beyond his limitation? I mean, that's the nature of the mind. Sorry to break it to 8 billion creatures on a rock in the middle of nowhere, but we each have our own private world. And when we look outside, even though we're all in the same world, it's kind of like 8 billion private inner servers of mind and 8 billion outer servers of body, and one outer public server of body. So it's as if your mind is like an inner private server, of inner private world, and what you see in front of your eyes is like a public outer world. And really, video games, whether their designers knew it or not, was very inspired by Vedanta, because what is the third person? People in this world don't believe in magic, but everything is behaving in a magical way. For example, back in the day, I'm not talking about religions. Those are divination is different from magic. The concept of divinity and magic are different things. But let's say that in certain, fantasy, fiction, folklore, there's this idea that the concept of magic associated to this idea of a spell, to the idea of an illusion. A spell is an illusion. And so the earliest form of magic was pretty much they would put boxes over people's head. Like that would be it, because people were not acquainted with language. Right? I'm telling the species that all of our ancestors, without knowing, were in an subconscious language worshipping game. We have reached a point in 2023 where we can go beyond this. What I can say is simply this, that I never thought, as a kid I was afraid of many things, but I never thought I would be at some point afraid, and not just afraid. There's a beautiful word called awe, A-W-E. And this word awe is a combination of fear and fascination. I'm someone who I know that if I release my inner realms too much in the outer realms, it can cause fear. Because the inner realms are intended to be inner, and the outer realms are intended to be outer, but something is using both of them to dance in the moment. I've spoken to many people, and everybody is clothed in some sort of ideological system. And it's weird. It's weird that it's like, even if I take my clothes off and just walk in the streets naked, right? It's still as if I'm not naked. It's as if my whole biological existence is clothed by my subjective idea, and every idea that has entered my mind, that has come and go, and all that consciousness has, conscious memory has noticed. So many beings, so many types of movements, all being witnessed through the presence of an intelligent space. In the subtitle, I've written The Friends of Destiny. The attributeless presence that watches all life simultaneously is a suggestion that non-physical intelligence is not separate to itself. You see, just like a substance can go through different states, I think it's fair to say that people are not their minds, but their minds are like the type of state, they are in. For example, like imagine we had the basic states of this is another arrow, or repositions another arrow. And so, like an archer, in every moment that this unknown viewer that is looking through your eyes, what you think is the idea of you, what you think is your body, what you think is your memories, your imagination, your emotions, you will see all of these are in some sense parts of the same moment, just like your hand, leg, face, saying like different parts of the body, like heart, brain, all the organs are separate with separate functions, yet they are part of one holistic moment of being. And so really I was under your body, and what I'm trying to say is I came into this moment where I was like, okay, is my body in my mind, or is my mind in my body? Let's figure out the mystery of the eons, mystery of the centuries. And so I thought about it, and I was like, okay, when I open my eyes and I try to do a backflip, which I can't, but when I physically move, that's when it's obvious that I am carrying my mind. So when I physically relocate, it's very obvious to me my mind doesn't stay back. My mind goes where my body goes, right? So in the outer realms, my mind is in my body, okay? My body is controlling it. But when I close my eyes and my body's super still, I notice that in my inner realms, it's the other way around. It's as if behind our eyes, we're not a physical entity to ourselves, and we're actually this unknown attention that is looking at what Immanuel Kant called noumenon and certain philosophers called quela. But pretty much what it is it's your inner experience before you act upon it to make it outer. So what I'm trying to get to is just this view that my attention wandered about what it is about its essence. And I came to the realization that it's not the personality that is holding everything.